Hello.
And welcome to
The Champagne.
Oh.
1, 2, 3.
The Champagne Room Secrets Podcast.
I'm Candi.
Whoa.
You guys, it's early. It's like 9 a.m.
I'm Kitty. Good morning.
Good morning. We're cozy today. Shout out to... Okay, these are so dirty, but shout out to Frankie Fictitious. Oh, I was going to wear my hood.
Oh, that's really cute. Wait, I have a hood. Oh.
We're hood baby. Oh, no, that's weird.
Yeah, that's not...
You do because of your cute little pony. There's like... I like it. So, before we jump into it, I just wanted to give a little update, PSA for our listeners who have been with us. Unfortunately, Jade has decided to focus on some other things and doesn't have time for the podcast right now. So, wish her well, love her. We'll definitely miss her here. We have Kitty, who's amazing. And, we do want to capture some of that magic still and make something funny and entertaining and maybe educational. Actually, Caitlin Bailey used this really good term, edutainment.
Oh, we love.
Which I like.
That's cute.
So this morning, we are drinking iced coffee. That is dairy-free. No farts.
If you'd like me to fart,
That's extra.
find me. Find me, fund me, feed me. And
The 3
then
Fs.
I'll fart you.
The 4 Fs. Find, feed, fund, fart. That's called feminism. Did you hear about the panty sniffer? Or I don't know what he was, but he was crawling underneath women at Barnes & Noble or Borders or something. And this woman caught it because she had her camera. She's like, why is this guy following me around? And he was pretending he was reaching down for a book, and he was trying to smell their regions.
I'm so upset.
It's so horrible. I know.
At a bookstore. Well, okay, so there is that whole thing of you walk into a bookstore and immediately have to shit.
Do you think that's why he does bookstores? Kitty, your work.
Yes. Okay, so we've talked about how I recently finished school.
Yes.
Amazing. It means I can join the workforce now, the labor force.
Welcome to capitalism. I mean, you've been also working forever.
That's true. I worked all through school. While on breaks from school, I was doing a lot of online doming courses with 7 days of domination.
Do you have to apply to do their class or just pay or
No. I found them during shelter in place, and they were doing a week of courses, a different class online every day, and they'd have different themes. They had a daddy week for Father's Day. And it's super fun, super cool. And then eventually, I don't know if they were doing this before or if it's more recent, but they made a whole catalog of every course they ever taught, and you can purchase individual, a la carte situation. Yeah, you can purchase a whole week or a specific bundle, a business bundle, whatever. And they also have a boot camp, which is
horny.
It was 6 weeks.
Lick my boot camp.
Taste my boots camp.
Boots down.
Boots the house down, mama camp. Anyway, so the whole goal was to be able to transition from doing online sex work, OnlyFansing, to doing some in-person work. I'd love to be a professional dom. That's such a fantastic little dream of mine, big dream of mine. And so got it done, and I was like, let's go. School's done. Time to put out an ad so I could start working, because I feel like I've got enough of an infrastructure and enough training to be hopefully booking sessions with clients.
Amazing.
So I put an ad out.
How would you describe that to someone who doesn't know what that is?
If you're looking to hire an escort or adjacent provider, there are websites where people can list advertisements for the work that they do and their contact information.
Think of TaskRabbit maybe for
kind of.
Would that kind of make sense?
Or
I was just thinking
Fiverr.
If Civs find this podcast, I'd be like, what do you mean an ad?
It's a website for advertisements for individual providers, basically.
Yeah.
So I submitted an ad that I drafted for review, and review processes, especially in the States, are pretty intense after Sesta Fosta, which was ratified in April 2018, which basically eliminated a lot of ways providers could advertise online. So it takes a while to get verified. And the window that I had seen on the website was 45 days. And I'm like, that's kind of long.
Okay, and I am on the same website for my ads, and it took me 2 weeks. I went back and checked to get approved. And I thought that was a long time. I was like, oh my God, 2 weeks.
Yeah, but I figure it's run by people. There's a lot of checks they have to do. ID verification.
Yeah.
It's a whole thing. Whatever. They have to approve your photos. And I was starting to sweat at 30 days.
Yeah.
I was freaking out by 45 days. I waited a little longer because I'm like, I don't want to be that person who messages the second that I don't have something I want.
Right.
But then I told you and you're like, no.
Yeah.
So I reached out maybe at like day 55, whatever. I'm like, hey, I did everything. Can I please get approved? And then I didn't hear back. But a couple days ago, I checked and it was just good to go. 72 days of waiting.
That is wild. That's over 2 months, 2.5 months.
Yeah. I knew it would take a minute once approved to start booking, especially like having to bid to get some more visibility.
Yeah.
Or not bid, but I think on that site it's membership tier.
I do like they do have free advertisement. I'm not going to say what it is, but any workers who want to know, you can message us. We can tell you about it.
Yeah.
I'm down to help any provider workers who like need some intro, but it's not information that needs to be like public for everybody.
Yeah. I was really hoping to be booking by now. So we'll see what's up. Time to play some catch up. In the interim though, because you were talking about it so much on this podcast, I revisited my Seeking account.
Dun, dun, dun.
And it's been demoralizing. I don't know. Awful. Interesting.
Yeah.
Mostly negative. I'd say like 95% negative experience.
You did see someone.
I did see someone.
You sought someone.
I sought. I soaked. Oh, no.
Oh, no. Not
Not
soaking today.
Yet.
Or ever.
Not with this person.
What happened?
Someone from my past found me and reached out to me. Someone I had...
Wait a second. The person you met was someone you already knew?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. I've been hiding this for a while.
I know.
Because I wanted to tell you here. So I got this message. It was something like, hey, I actually think we met a while ago in this town nearby. It's so interesting to see you in here, whatever. They had no profile picture. Their username was not anything identifiable.
Yeah.
Their location was like further away than where we met.
Okay,
It was weird.
But
it
they
was
had
weird.
like a name. You recognize the name?
No.
Oh, you had no idea.
I
who
was
they were.
like scared, so I was like, I need to get more information. What's happening here? Because
Yeah.
it could just be bullshit.
Right.
But also,
It could be like a scammer, because like scammers will reach out to you like on text.
I thought it was like attempted blackmail, but I was
Yeah.
like, I want to figure out
Yeah.
what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And like I had a hoe phase, a non-professional hoe phase.
You were a hoe?
I slept with a lot of people.
I can't believe it.
I
You
know.
are a married person?
I am not a virgin. I wasn't a virgin when I entered my marital contract.
I am shocked. I am befuddled.
But so that was running in the back of my mind of like, I wonder if one of the people that I slept with in the past is on here. And that was the situation. So I gave them my burner number, if you will.
Yeah.
I like logged off Seeking and eventually they texted. And I was like, boom. Yeah. Know who you are. I remember a couple things and was like, oh yeah, I remember like I came over kind of on a whim, because that's what I did. By whim, I mean was having a manic episode.
yeah.
And
Where did you meet them on a dating app?
yeah, we met on Tinder. Thank you.
On Tinder. Okay.
Someone I matched with on Tinder. I was like maybe 19 or 20 years old, so I didn't have judgment, and I was not using judgment again talking to this person. We ended up agreeing to meet up for drinks because he was going to be in town. We meet up for drinks, and the vibe was immediately like, why are you here? Because you don't want to be here, clearly. Like, the energy was very much...
You were getting that energy from him.
Yeah. He didn't seem like he wanted to be there.
But
he said yes to hanging out and talk to me and everything. And, like, I was playing it very chipper. I like to be very nice. So I was, like, excited to see you, excited to catch up. And maybe I wasn't reading his tone right over text, but whatever. I get there, and he seemed on edge and unhappy.
When you met up, was there the assumption that you were going to talk about some kind of arrangement or some kind of like donation for your time?
I thought we would catch up.
Okay.
And that there was an interest in exploring an arrangement, and that I would receive a donation for my time because he talked about being experienced in this.
Oh, okay.
And why would he want to hang out otherwise?
That's why you're on Seeking.
Yeah.
Anyone who's on Seeking to find true love, you're a dumb idiot. Sorry. Maybe it happens. I don't know. But
Who
it's
knows?
like, it's literally just sex work, but with like a veil.
Yeah.
Not a veil, like something that like kind of like with a filter, I guess. Like,
Yeah.
something that kind of transforms
Exactly. He sat me down and was like, what do you remember of our time together? And I'm like, I don't remember a lot, but I was like, I remember it being a nice time. He was like, well. And I was like, okay. And he's like, I remember you came over twice. And I'm like, cool. And he's like, and I remember you gave me an STI. And I was like, oh.
What?
And I was like, I remember.
I did not think that is where the story was going to go.
So, yeah, I was like bing, bang, booming around a lot.
Yeah.
And when you're manic and you're young and you're me, I'm not saying anyone else did this, but like condom use was flexible because I just really wanted to have someone like me.
But also, like, he could have worn a condom.
Anyone could have.
Yeah.
Anyone I was sleeping with could have.
Yeah.
And a couple people didn't. And, you know, I was like...
Yeah.
Getting around. And I didn't remember he was one of the people I had to text to give the bad news.
But you actually told him at the time.
Oh, no, of course. Absolutely.
Yeah,
That's
like, what? You just got
I
some
think it was
antibiotics
like
and there you go. Have a nice day.
4 guys I had to talk to about it.
That's very responsible.
And one was extremely mean. I had a lot of shame and was really embarrassed.
That's
but
what
I
happens when you have unprotected sex. Not to you,
No,
but
but
to the guy. Like, that is what fucking happens.
It happens. It happens when you have...
Sorry.
And it's not a bad thing if you don't want it to be.
Yeah.
In every situation, we both made a choice that had a consequence.
Yeah.
One guy was really mean. One guy I worked with, and we worked with his girlfriend, and he was freaking out. And I'm like, you cheated on your girlfriend without a condom with your coworker. We all worked together. You made this choice. Like, yes, I also made the choice, but...
No, that's on him. One of the Seeking dates I went on, I told the guy's like, oh, well, like, do you date? I'm like, yeah, like, I am open. I do this. Like, obviously, I have my work, which on Seeking, you don't really want to tell people because they can report you for being a sex worker. And he was, like, totally skeeved out. He's like, well, I've been with my girlfriend for 10 years and I can't get an STI or I can't get an STD or whatever. And I'm like, so you expect me to only have sex with you for this arrangement? Anyways, it didn't work out, but I did finally get the money from him. I don't know if I ever updated the pot on that.
I don't know if you ever told him.
I chased him down.
Yeah, you had to, like, hunt him.
I was like, you owe me money for getting drinks with you. Listen, $200-$300 is not that much money, but I was like, I'm going to fucking get the money from this guy. And he actually ended up giving me $300. And
it's
he, like...
the principle.
It's the principle. And, like, I, like, parked outside of this, like, bar. And he, like, ran to my car and gave me an envelope. And I was like, see you never, bitch.
Wait, but, okay.
Sorry.
No. I didn't remember this guy. He brought it up. I felt awful because I was like, this is how you remember me, and I barely remember you. But he wasn't judgmental about it. We kept on talking, and he was like, at some point, you asked to come over, and I was sick, and you took that as potentially, like, me not being interested, and that wasn't the case, and things petered out. And I'm like, okay. And I explained, like, back then I was having mental health issues, healing from a really bad breakup, and I'm sorry that this was your experience. I don't think I'm that person anymore.
That is honestly so generous and patient of you. I would be like, what the fuck are you talking about? You know that Mad Men meme? Be like, I don't even think of you. Like, what are
Pretty
you?
much.
What are you talking?
Okay.
Why am I here? Okay,
but I'm
sorry,
like, maybe this is making amends. Maybe it's I don't know what the fuck it was. I don't know what the fuck it was, but I figure, like, I'm here now.
Okay.
And he just, like, couldn't process that I'm a different person. He kept on coming back to, like, different things of, like, oh, that doesn't seem like you, whatever. I'm like, we literally probably hung out 2 or 3 times in the span of a month.
Yeah.
Maybe 2 months. Like, I don't know.
And this was, like, a long time ago. Like, 8 years ago?
Like, 8 years ago or so. Yeah. So
That's fucking crazy.
I don't know. And I would say, like, oh, at that time, I was dealing with this breakup. He's like, well, that's not how you characterized it then. And I'm like, I don't know. I've lived a full fucking life since then, dude. But I just, like, kept it cool. Was trying to be nice, trying to be fun.
That is so wild.
Because I'm like, what if this turns out good? Which is, like, maybe I should have noticed that it was already bad. But I'm an optimist.
You know what, though? You only learn by doing it, right? Like, it's like someone can't, like, teach you these things. You kind of have to, like, go through it yourself and, like, build up the experience and the intuition. So, like, whatever, man. Like, you learned.
He was, like, asking me whether or not it's moral for him to have a sugar baby that's a secret outside of his relationship. And I'm like, well, I don't
know. Not if you're monogamous.
Yeah. And I'm like, well, I mean, I'm not really a judgmental person, and that's not really my place to say. Like,
is it moral? No. Is it your business? Also, no.
Also, what is morality? Other than a way to police people. So I don't fucking know.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, yeah, I would do it, but it's like, don't ask me if it's, like, ethical. I'm like, well, no, you're lying, and liars suck. But, like, I'm not lying.
So. It was so fucking weird. It was so weird. And eventually, he's getting, like, real itchy. Like, he seemed really on edge. And he's like, my sugar baby's in town with me. And I'm like...
Wait, so he has a current sugar baby.
He has a regular person he takes care of.
Okay.
But that person is moving away from him.
Oh, okay. So he kind of...
So he's looking for a replacement, I guess.
Gotcha.
But I don't think that was why he wanted to see me. I don't know what he wanted from me. Like, I thought we were at least catching up, but it seemed like a fucking trial. He wanted me to judge him. He wanted me to be like, you're bad. And I explained, like, I'm non-monogamous. And, you know, I do adjacent work to this. And it's not my fucking place to tell you you're such a bad boy unless you're asking me to do that for money. I didn't get paid.
Of course not. Did you ask him?
I was basically like, so what is this?
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't know, and pays the check. I'm like, okay, do you want to keep on talking? Do you want to keep on hanging out? And he's like, and I'm like, if you have to go, you have to go. That's fine. He didn't call me a car to go home. He didn't wait for the car to pick me up. We went outside together.
Oh my God.
And he said, why don't you go by X name? Like my old legal name he knew me by. And I was like,
excuse me?
I was like, I don't go by that name anymore. I just don't. And he's like, do you still have the same last name? And I said, no, why do you remember that? And he's like, well, I just noticed I still had your number in my phone, and that's not the number you gave me, and it's not the name you gave me. And I'm like, what the fuck do you think this is?
You guys are talking on a sugar dating website. Like,
8 years
later.
Are you
dumb?
8 years later.
8 years later.
And
oh
like,
my God.
Why do you still have my number? Why do you still know my legal name? What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? And I got really sketched out. And and then he left. He left me just, like, alone in front of the bar. And I'm like, okay. I felt awful about myself. I was like, am I an awful person? Or was this an awful person? I don't.
Comment below.
Is
Kitty an awful
person? Am I a bad person?
I'm kidding.
But he worked for Instacart, which just IPO'd. And I was like, this could have been really good. Damn. This could have been fruitful. I could have gotten a discount. Womp womp for seeking maybe not last. I am texting someone right now that seems. First of all, they're hot.
Oh,
but I think that's gonna cloud my judgment.
I do not.
You don't fuck with people who are hot.
No, unless. I do have a few clients that are kind of hot, but like they came to me
with real money,
knowing what the situation was. And I'm like, oh, it's like a bonus. You're not like 75.
It was to the point where I texted this guy. I'm like, do people pay you to fuck? Because like, why are you here?
Why are you here?
And maybe it's just like an ego thing. Who knows?
Also, I just think like hot men, red flag. I don't know what it is. Like,
they're dangerous.
I'm like, what is this? What's going on? What's happening? Actually, I mean, my partner's hot, so.
But that's different. Several years of proven not murderer.
Yes. 5 years.
We'll see.
5 years now, because I started dating him when you got married. So
yeah. Well, anyway, that's my story. I've been holding on to it for weeks, and it's been stressing me out not telling you because I knew you'd be like, don't do this.
That's really shitty. I wish you did get like some compensation for it. And almost like the whole guilty judgment thing is like almost like a little bit like kink dynamic. Like, I don't think that's what he meant.
I don't think it's what he meant. I'm also wondering, do you think I'm the only person who smashed them past in his life? Does it give that energy?
He was married at 22, so he probably hadn't like dated and slept around at all. His brain's not developed. Okay, remember, go back, I'll tag in the episode where like my stalker person came back out.
Similar energy.
And I was like, we literally slept together one time 5 years ago. And it still stuck with him because he probably doesn't sleep around a lot.
Yeah.
And we're both hoes. So,
man,
Dee Dee really wants to be in the show. Well, palate cleanser. I had a nice date.
Yay!
A few weeks ago. So this guy reached out, I don't know, I think like a few months ago. Like really weird. He's like wants a Muse. And I love that because it's so weird. That is a service that I aspire to offer because I feel like there have been a lot of women in history that have been muses and not gotten anything out of it. And I want to be that, but also like take a lot of their money. So I just thought it was a really interesting request because it didn't really seem like he wanted any like physical intimacy or anything. And he's like, do you want to go to this museum with me as like a date? And I was like, sounds weird. Let's do it. And so
sounds safe.
We meet up and he was like, I think the message he texted me because I didn't know what he looked like. Maybe I was a little more like lax because like we were meeting in a public place. I think he sent me his work info, but maybe I didn't have his photo. But he sent me, he's like, look for the guy in the Indiana Jones hat. I'm like, oh boy.
No.
I'm like, oh no. Oh.
Okay.
So I'm like, Jesus Christ, do I leave right now? I have good instincts. I don't go to like situations that really are going to be dangerous, but like sometimes I just have a like, let's fucking go attitude. He's very nice. We literally just like walked around the museum. He does some like filmmaking as a hobby. He has a YouTube, so I don't know. It'd be funny if you saw that. I think I told him about the podcast. I don't remember. Oh no, I definitely did. I tell everyone. I'm the worst. I tell them about it and then like, can I listen? I'm like, no. Now it's like, if they find
now
it.
it's your fucking faces on it.
Oh well.
They can pay to have info scrubbed.
Oh, I like that. Blackmail.
Oh my God, that's what that is. Oh no.
It was just, because, you're walking around. I'm like, I had this moment where like, no one knows what's going on right now. We have this like me, young, hot woman walking around with this like older guy. And we're just like, kind of like, I don't know anything about him. So it's like, oh, like, where have you traveled? What kind of food do you like? Kind of all like the first date stuff. But meanwhile, we're just like critiquing art. I'm not like an art critic, but I can look at stuff. I can say things.
I mean, you are an artist.
I'm an artist. I painted this.
I can't talk about art, but just the entire
I did
room.
spray paint this head, so
Woo!
That's art. Yeah, so that was just like a like interesting little tidbit. I didn't really have like a huge like hook or joke or anything. It was just like
Short-term Muse. Rent a Muse.
1-800-RENT-A-MUSE. To contrast that.
Oh, we're going down, up, down?
Down, up, down. I had a new client I met, I think last week. First of all, I think I sent you a video. He brought me a gift. So he shows up, full suit and tie, with a bag from Nordstrom.
That's
and I'm like,
hot. That's hot. And
you know what? He's cute. You
yeah.
know, it's not anybody I would see maybe personally, but okay, This was like earlier. This was like 11 a.m. And
full suit and tie. First thing in the morning. I thought
because he works in the restaurant industry, I thought maybe he was like at a work thing and then he was like going after. No. He told me he like dressed up for me and he's like really nervous. And I was like, well, I made this tea that's like kind of a relax, has like kava root and stuff. Licorice root. I don't know. I thought that would be nice. He pulls out a little like a little zip ice chest thing. And he's like, oh, I brought beer. He brings out a tall can of Bud Light. And I was like,
his vibe is so fucking cool.
I was like, all right, let's fucking go.
Wait, full suit and tie, tall boy of Bud Light. Not even.
No, not even.
We live in a place where like beer is such a big fucking deal.
I know.
It's a fucking Bud Light.
It was a Bud fucking Light, and I was like, instantly, I'm like, this is so weird, and I'm obsessed.
He's so good.
My toxic trait is that I just fucking love weirdos, but not to the point like I said, I don't think I like put myself in danger. I'm like pretty good about that. Like I have a good like sense about that. But like when I know someone is like safe,
Yeah.
and chill, but like they're like a secret weirdo. I'm like, yes.
You have a podcast to tell weird stories. You
do?
want a weird client.
I thought we were just I have a podcast.
You have a podcast to tell weird stories. So a weird client.
And I'm like, we can't drink Bud Light out of that. So I like got some glasses and I was like, all right, bro. You're not going to drink alone. That's just sad. I guess I'm having a Bud Light at 11 a.m.
Oh my God, it was
11 a.m., girl. It was the morning.
Okay, wait, keep on going. I gotta
Or was
stop.
it 11:30?
That's not different.
It was before noon. Okay, so we're sipping. He's sitting down, and I'm like, so what? He's like, I brought you a gift.
I brought you
a gift. Sorry. The labyrinth. Okay. What is it? And I'm like, oh my God, thinking that it's like some like lingerie or something. It's this nice big box, Nordstrom. I'm like, okay, slay. I open it up and it's this like beautiful cozy scarf. And I'm just like, that's such a nice gift. He requested sparkly makeup.
Cute.
Heels, perfume, like very girly, high femme, and then a tiara. And I was like, I do not have a tiara, but I should get one.
Yeah, you need one.
Should tell him to buy me one.
Wait, that's really... He wanted a pretty little princess, and he found the perfect person.
I know. I love it. And so we're just sitting there sipping our Bud Light, and I'm like, what's your story? And the scarf, he's just like, I just wanted... And I'm like, so were you working? He's like, no, I just wanted to look nice for you. I was like... And he's like, I'm so nervous. I'm sorry. Like, I'm sweating. I'm like, literally, this is like the most pleasant beginning of a session I've ever had.
His first time
No,
booking
he had seen someone years prior, but it had been a long time.
Interesting.
Yeah, but he was just like really nervous. And this happens, like, I don't know what it is. I've talked about this on the podcast, but, and maybe this goes for all sex workers, but like when people meet me, generally they're like, oh my gosh, like you look so much better than your photos.
That's so rude. Because you look beautiful.
I think my photos look pretty good, but like, I don't know. I get that comment a lot. And I'm like, thank you. Thanks. Or they're like, oh, well, your photos look great, but like you just like are in person. And I'm like, thanks. I love it. But sometimes people so he got like a little nervous. So like, he didn't expect me to like look as good or better than my photos. Like, I guess. Whatever.
Okay.
So he was just like nervous and like, don't cancel me. We did a little bit of role play. I think I mentioned, did I cut it out of last episode?
Who knows? You cut it out.
I cut it out.
Yeah, that's okay.
It started out like, oh, you're 18, right?
Yeah.
He's like, are you really 18? Or are you pretending? I'm like, I'm 17. He's like, are you really 17? But he kept like going lower. And I was like, okay, hold on there, sister.
There's a line.
I don't know what line we crossed. But it was honestly like, it was very verbal, which I like. Like, I'm really good at improving. Yes, and like horny improving. So it was like we were together, I don't know, 2.5 hours. And it was like very much like a lot of like talking, a lot of just like touch and stuff. Like it was like weirdly wholesome. And we drank all the tall boy. And so we bid adieu. And he told me, I don't know. You tell me later if I should cut this. But we're talking about movies, and he like knew his shit. And I was like, oh, I love horror movies. And he was like giving me some like background info on Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And I was like, me liking horror movies fun and quirky. A man liking horror movies and knowing that much? I don't know. Like, he loves reading. He loves watching movies. He's single. And he'll just like, yeah, I'll just like have some treats and I'll just like watch a bunch of movies. I was like, he said treats a few times. I was like, what do you mean treats?
Like movie snacks. Like, hit me with those red vines.
Treats. And I was like,
wait. Okay, two things. I love that word. We gotta change some group chats.
I know.
Names.
I was like, treats? First of all, fucking slay. He's like, what? I'm like, nothing. I love treats.
Okay, but why would you... You're like sitting down for a cozy little night, watch the movies, and you're just like... Fucking
you're railing
skiing. You're like hitting, what is it, like a black diamond? Literally. And you're fucking Shaun White out here.
And so really he's like, you know,
that's stressful. I feel like I'd be sitting there like
we got like a little intimate, but I feel like he didn't, that was not his main thing. Like I feel like he was just like, he was like so obsessed with me. He's like, oh my God. And like, listen, men promise stuff all the time, especially at strip clubs. They're like, I'm going to buy you gifts. I'm going to take you on vacations. And it wasn't like anything grand like that. The R and nor. It wasn't anything like that crazy. It was like actually stuff. He's like, okay, like, let me think about it. He's like, you know what? Your rates are high. So I'll need to like save up. But like, maybe like we can meet up once a month. Like he like was actually like thinking about stuff. He's like asking my favorite brands. I was like, you don't need to like do anything. He's like, no, but like, I want to like save up and do it for you. And I'm like, am I about to enter like a FinDom situation?
I don't know.
Because, like, it seemed like he...
Did he want you to put the pressure on? I think he just wants to take...
I don't think he wants me to put the pressure on, but I think if I were to, like, be like, okay, so you make this much money a month, this much money you're going to spend on me. Like, I feel like he'd be like, yes, okay. But I don't feel like I want to do that to him.
No.
Because it's too much power.
Interesting.
And so he really just wants to... He basically wants to hang out, and I'm not going to do this. He wants to hang out for 8 hours and do treats while watching movies.
That's so long. Also, that's a lot of making snowmen. That's a lot of popcorn and peanut M&Ms.
Popcorn and licorice and peanut M&Ms.
Jesus Christ! If you you probably wouldn't be having treats the whole time.
No, and I don't think I want his treats either. Like, I mean, I don't.
You never know.
You never know.
But also, you'd be like sobering up at like hour 7 in front of him, and that's like tummy fucking up and all that. That's
too long. That's too long to spend with somebody.
It sounds like he wants it sounds like girlfriend experience.
Yeah, no, it really does sound
buying
like
sweet things and spending nice
he's
time
honestly
together.
So sweet. He texted me the next day. He's like, people at work say I'm like glowing, like you really like made such an impact on me yesterday, and like it's really sweet. And he sent me this like nice message over the weekend. It's like, it's not to the point where it's like a little too much. It's like it might creep there, so I need to just be good with my boundaries, which I've been like practicing. But like he's just such a sweetheart, and I'm not gonna hang out with him for 8 hours. That's too much. I think I'll offer 4. And I'll be like, okay, let's figure out. But I'm like, I've had a few people be like, oh, we could like go on a trip or do this, or we spend the night. I'm like, no.
No overnights for you.
I don't know. It's like.
No one has inspired that yet.
No one has like put a gigantic stack of money in front of me and been like, sleep in the same bed with me. I don't know. It's like.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe if like Billy Bob was like out of town or something. It's like I love coming home at the end because like I put a lot of myself into like these sessions with people. Like it's very emotionally draining, and like I love the work. I feel like I'm like very good at it and it works for me, but it's like I need like decompression time, and then like I don't want to sleeping in the same bed next. I mean, even when I was just dating, I didn't do that. Like, I just not a sleepover girly.
That's fine. You gotta aftercare for yourself.
If someone like pulls out 10 grand in cash and they're like, sleep next to me and I'm not going to touch you, what am I going to say? No, like probably not. But like that hasn't happened yet. So I've only been offered 10 grand for one thing, and it was foul. That's the only thing I've ever been offered 10 grand for.
In retrospect, would you have done it?
No.
Really? Done.
Not the milky ass juice.
No, I know.
No.
Just curious.
No. And I wouldn't eat that cum burrito either.
I would. For less.
I love that for you.
I would.
We should ask every guest on here.
How much would you eat a cum burrito?
Yeah.
For?
A burrito that someone's fucked and filled with cum.
I want to watch that.
Okay.
Not horny, but like.
I just want to see it happen.
I want to see like how much it falls apart.
I feel like that's something Shia LaBeouf would do is like an art installation.
I also want to know what kind of burrito, because what if it's hot? I know, I was going to say, couldn't have been that fresh and couldn't have been that spicy.
Oh my God,
unless it was.
Okay, you guys, our brains are melted.
We're done.
Anyways, you guys, everyone always says you guys.
We were gonna talk about something genuinely important today, and we didn't.
What?
The fundraiser.
Okay, so our next Hex Drag Burlesque show is December 21st. If you are in our area, we'll share info. And we're doing a little fundraiser. I've talked about it in previous episodes, but there are a lot of street-based sex workers around my area. And I had spoken to someone who has offered them condoms in like little like treats. Not actual treats.
No, not that. Don't say that.
No. But like things like for their job, right? Like giving out bags of condoms and stuff, essentially. And so I was kind of chatting with them about it. And so we're doing a little fundraiser to make little bags full of condoms and disposable wipes and mints and then maybe some tasers. I found like a good...
Oh my God! So we'll do some fundraising probably just through this and then fundraising at the event.
Yes.
And then, I mean, the big exciting thing is being able to do some distribution.
Yeah. So that's the thing. Just like for holiday times, give back a little bit because I realize I'm very privileged in this job and like, listen, I want to spread the love in a not white savior way.
But if you're feeling like Captain Save-A-Ho or a white savior, this is a great time to support a very small community care mutual aid program that Barbie came up with, and it's really exciting and really cool. And
Barbie's me or Candi, whatever.
Shit,
that's fine. So I started with Candi because we were trying to be super anonymous, but now I don't work at strip clubs anymore. So it's Barbie or Candi. I don't know what I'm going with, you guys. I don't know.
My little treat.
I need some treats right now. Give us an email if you want. CRSecretspod@gmail.com. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on TikTok, Twitter. I'm
YouTube, which this is on.
Follow us here. On Spotify. I don't know. Do all the stuff. Yeah, everyone knows. You know.
Get into it.
Get into it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye.